And welcome to the last day of February. Good morning and welcome to the last day of February. It's Tony Kurre here from Tony Kurre Radio. I want to talk about a few things today, including, of course, the Ukrainian situation. Had a great conversation with my 9-year-old daughter yesterday that I want to share with you. That was pretty cool. And also rock and rollers. The cool thing about rock and roll is most rock and rollers get a chance to go in different parts of the world that you and I will never get a chance to go into, and it's been amazing. Pearl Jam, Green Day, Kiss, you name it, they've all been to Kiev, they've all been to Ukraine, they've all done concerts, and they've all come out and been very outspoken about what's going on over there right now, so we'll talk about that in just a few seconds. But I did want to mention this week is a huge week for Tony Kurre Radio. Of course, if you download the Tony Kurre Radio app, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me, trying to build this super cool classic rock station with all of our great unique programs. I'll talk about that in a second. But I really appreciate that. But now every show we do is up on Spotify. Go to Spotify, search Tony Kurre Radio. That's Kurre with a K, Tony Kurre Radio. And you can download every show that we got. You can listen to hundreds of different podcasts. There's great shows too. We, of course, do Dark Side of the Pooch on Monday with Dr. Rab Stewart from the Rossbridge Animal Hospital. Great show. It's unlike any pet show you'll ever hear. I mean, we talk about how many nipples cats have. We talk about, different ways to fence in your animals. Benny Selman, good morning to you. It's talk about all kinds of great things. It's a great show. And we do Mutt Mail. If you go to TonyKurreRadio.net, leave your email there. You can check us out and drop us a line, and we'll read those on there. Brandon Austin Morris, good morning to you, man. What a great way to start the week. You are correct, sir. Thank you so much. Adapter Parish with Adaptogent. Al Cooper, good morning to you. Fantastic show with Dr. Alex Hubline and Dr. Josh Claypo, my radio partner. That show airs at noon and 8 every single Tuesday. Fantastic show. And again, if you miss any of those shows, there are about 12 shows in. You can go back and listen to all those shows on Spotify. Just search Tony Kurre Radio or Adapter Parish. You get that coming up. Mission Minded with my good friend Michael Coleman. We do that. Of course, he's the executive director of the Jimmy Hale Mission. Great guy. We talk about non-for-profits, entrepreneurial footprints, and more in the business world. If you want to run a business or you want to know how businesses run, that show is fantastic. Check it out. It runs at noon and 7 on Wednesday. Live Wire Wednesday, which is our most listened to show internationally speaking. We have over 45,000 people that listen in Sydney, Australia alone every Wednesday night. It is an entire hour dedicated to AC/DC. That show airs at noon and 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. I know I got so many shows, man. I can't keep track of all of them. It's crazy. That's brought to you by Southern Precision Staffing for all your staffing needs, construction, otherwise. 205-682-2828, 205-682-2828. Kai Greger and his staff do a fantastic job. They're right here in Hoover, but they serve the United States of America just like Tony Kurre Radio does. So check out Livewire Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we have Blues Almighty with Austin Hanks. Had him on last week. He told an amazing story about Billy Gibbons. They're like best buds, man. He's best buds with ZZ Top. How cool is that? That show airs every Wednesday at noon and 8. We, of course, also have a show called When in Rome. If you listen to this past... Here's a show that you'd want to listen to on demand, because When in Rome aired this past Friday. It's all about Mardi Gras. Stuart Rome, who's a good friend of ours, runs the Woodhouse Day Spa, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. He does the show. It's all Mardi Gras music. We aired that on Friday. And you can go back, again, to Spotify, Tony Kurre Radio, and listen to that entire show as many times as you want. There's Louis Armstrong in there. There's a Fats Domino in there. We got Johnny B. Good from Chuck Berry in there. There's Arlo Guthrie in there. It's a fantastic show. So you can do that before Fat Tuesday, which is, of course, tomorrow. We also have the Damon Johnson Show, which airs at noon and 8 every single Friday, which is a great show. My good friend and, of course, a former Leonard Skinner lead guitarist, Damon Johnson, has been with Brother Kane. He's been with John Waite. He's done with Alice Cooper for 10 years. He was with Thin Lizzy. The guy's done it. He's been there. He's been all over the place. He's probably been in the Ukraine. Good morning, Benny, again. Time to go to work. Have a great day. You have a great day, too. And then, of course, the Classic Hip Hop Show, which is a great show. It'll take you back to your Jitterbugs days. If you want to feel like you're drunk at Bell Bottoms, listen Saturday nights from 9 to 11. It's great. Also today, Luka Doncic, 23 today. Hell of a basketball player. I saw him last night. The Dallas Mavericks, man, laid it on Golden State last night. It was a great game. Brian Jones, of course, founder of the Rolling Stones, would have been 80 today. Jason Aldean, 45. Icky Woods. I got some cold cuts. Turns 56, and Donnie Iris, Love is Like a Rock, Alea, he turns 79 today. So rock and rollers are coming out in droves now to support their Ukrainian effort. I mentioned a couple of days ago, pardon me, you know, this Ukrainian thing has been one of those things where when it first happened, I thought, okay, you know, we'll probably make a big deal out of it, and then we'll just kind of go on our way and just live our normal lives here in the United States because we're 5,000 miles away, and that's what we do. And it's really Bill Murphy, good morning, and will it directly affect us? Listen, if you're worried about how expensive our gasoline is going to get over yourself, man. Who cares? I just put $73 in my minivan yesterday, and it sucks, yeah, but I mean, listen, think about what those people are going through over the Ukraine. $5 a gallon of gas, yeah, it sucks. It's gonna affect us somehow. But for the most part, let's pick our battles here. That's not the biggest issue here. But what I think is amazing is how many people have actually been incredibly outspoken about not only the Ukrainian people, but how much they want to fight for them. Hell, I got people here. I got on the phone call with a friend of mine last night, and he was like, dude, if I could figure out a way, and he's single, now he doesn't have family. He's like 30-something years old. He's like, dude, if I could hop on a plane right now and get a gun, I'd go fight for those people. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I threw a tweet out a couple of days ago. If you were in the Ukraine right now or you were Ukrainian, would you fight or flee? And I got both ways. These stories about fathers who got 6 kids who are dropping their wife and kids off at the borders and then coming back to fight, that is awesome shit, man. That's amazing. I mean, that's just incredible. And, you know, we sit here in this incredible country, still the best country in the world, and we say we're patriotic, we love this country, and yeah, there's infighting, and we have issues here. There's issues with everybody, but we're still so young. But I'm trying to think, you know, if I knew we were being invaded, and we were the size of Ukraine, and by the way, we're like 12 times the economy as Russia, so I don't even know what, it's got to be 50 or 60 times what Ukrainians' economy is. We have the resources, the wherewithal to pull something off like that. But if we were in the same boat as the Ukraine was in, and we had a much bigger country trying to invade the United States of America, what would you do? According to my tweet, 97% of you said you'd fight, which is great. And I think a lot of Ukrainians, quite frankly, over the last 8 years, they're tired. They want to fight. They want to get after it. They're making Molotov cocktails. You got 12-year-olds walking around with guns. I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing effort in what they're doing, and we're praying for you folks over there. I know a lot of people have extended family, and it's just, it's super sad to see what people are going through over there. And I just love the fact that the Russians are having a lot more difficult time than what they thought they were going to have. The other thing I think is really interesting, and I'm not a war guy. I'm bred, not war, right? But man, they're using roughly 20% of their entire military. They got about 1 million troops in Russia. They're using about 200,000 troops, I think the last number I saw, to invade Ukraine. And obviously, when you're talking about a superpower, you think you're just going to wipe it out in 3 or 4 days. And they're finding out that's not the case. Man, if you had someone out there as crazy as Putin that wanted to come in the back door on Russia right now, now would be the time. I'm just saying. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying think about it. While you're spending all your time looking this direction and spending all your time and resources, and again, Russia has to work an entire year to get to what we get here in the United States in about 3.5 weeks. Put that in perspective, right? I mean, they got to bust their ass for an entire year to get what we do here in this country in about 3 weeks. That's how great this country is from an economic standpoint. We get it done, man. We're some money grabbers. We get after it, right? But if you're Russia right now and you're spending all your resources, or the majority of your resources, on this country that, quite frankly, has got Chernobyl. I thought that was the strangest thing, that they were going in there to retake the Chernobyl reactor, and it's leaking again. They built this entire, there was something on the History Channel, they built this entire cover over the entire thing so it wouldn't leak. And someone told me that they needed to take that land over in order to proceed to go into the next land. But they took over their whole old reactor. There's nothing you can do there. It's desolate. You can't even live there. It's just bizarre to me. But while they're sitting there invading this country, a country that just wants to be sovereign and just let us be, just let us do our thing. Sam Russian, good morning to you. Wouldn't it be something if some crazy ass other person said, you know, right now Russia is ripe for the picking. I mean, they're ripe for the taking. I'm just saying. Not to say we do that. So several rock and rollers have reached out and have had some very interesting things. And again, I love rock and rollers because all these rock and rollers have actually played in Kiev, which is amazing. Stevie Nicks said, I know someone, an innocent person, who's having her freedom taken away from her. I've been crying ever since. Of course, she compared to Vladimir Putin to Adolf Hitler. Green Day canceled a scheduled performance in Moscow, which was supposed to happen next week in response to the war, while David Coverdale has continually expressed his support in the Ukraine. Dee Snider of Twisted Sister. Dee Snider, here's a dude that sold over 10 million albums with Twisted Sister in a very short period of time. You could call them a butt band, a rock butt band. He will do whatever it takes to stay relevant. I love this guy. He said, I absolutely approve of Ukrainians using "we're not going to take it" as their battle cry. My grandfather was Ukrainian before it was swallowed up by the USSR after World War II. This can't happen to these people again. Paul Stanley of KISS came out and said, while we're living our everyday blessed lives, the people of Ukraine are fighting for theirs against overwhelming odds. We're watching in real time as families are decimated and the country is battered. There's a dark cloud over us all who are powerless today to help. I will pray. Pearl Jam came out and said, the majority of humans on this planet are more consumed by the pursuit of love, health, family, food, and shelter than any kind of war. War hurts. We are such a remarkable species, capable of creating beauty, capable of awe-inspiring advancements. We must be capable of resolving conflicts without bloodshed. Join us in supporting the most vulnerable victims of this horror, the kids. And then Brian May of Queen wrote this Instagram post, which is amazing, and he posted this picture the last time they played in Kiev. Man, look at that. 80,000 people showed up for a Queen concert in Kiev. He said, so many great memories, the great times in Ukraine. This picture of our unforgettable show was in Freedom Square in Kiev in 2008. It seems unbelievable the peaceful life of Ukraine can be so senselessly shattered in the 21st century, and it feels unbearable the world could just watch and let it happen. We're all praying for peace, dear friends. He said, I'm also being getting advice on some of the negative comments on this post of mine. It seems my comments page is being used as a channel for misinformation. So people go on and again, believe what you want to. If you're on the internet, you know how it goes. And again, David Coverdale said, good morning all, hoping to find you and yours safe and well wherever you are. My thoughts and prayers are truly with the brave, courageous, strong people of Ukraine. With all my heart and soul, I pray for this war to stop. I do think it's really interesting though, because I'm a super patriotic person. I consider myself that way. I'll never take a knee. I'll always stand. Even when the national anthem comes across my TV, I stand in my kitchen. And I teach my kids to do it too. There's reverence, there's loyalty, and there's respect for that. There's a responsibility in this country to love what we do. Yes, it's symbolic, but it's symbolic for a very important reason. And so whenever I hear the national anthem, I stand. I don't care where it is. If someone's playing it on their phone in church, I will stand up in the middle of Mass and put my hand in my heart. And I would like to think that the majority of us would get after it if we were Ukrainians in a situation where we were being invaded. It's really interesting. Also today, we have a couple birthdays I want to get into. We mentioned those a few seconds ago. But I want to talk about something. I don't talk about my kids a lot. Steve McClinton, good morning to you. I don't talk about my kids a lot. Actually, I do talk about my kids a lot. I love my kids to death. They're everything to me. I have a 17, 14, and 9-year-old. But I have a 9-year-old daughter who looks like her mother and acts like her father. I'm in trouble. And I've told her repeatedly that she's not allowed to date until she's like 37 years old. Anyway, she did something on Friday that I thought was really, really cool that I wanted to share with you. She actually told a boy in her class that she liked him on a note. And I thought that was the coolest thing because she was so wigged out about going to school today because she sent a note to him that said something along the lines of, I think you're super cool. Would you like to hang out? We could learn a lot from a 9-year-old. Think you're super cool. Would you like to hang out? And then did the boxes. Yes, maybe, no. And so she slipped him the note as he got on the school bus on Friday. And so all weekend long, she's been wigging out. And I said, man, that is the coolest thing I think I've ever seen a 9-year-old girl do. First of all, guys love that because we don't have a clue whether a woman likes us or not until probably about the 17th date. We think she's just putting up with us till she can find something better. And I'm thinking, that is the coolest. She goes, did I do the right thing? I said, absolutely. And I said, now, several things are going to happen here. First of all, I know my daughter. I'm not just saying this because I'm her dad. My daughter is the coolest ass girl in the history of the world. She's beautiful. She's super smart. She's compassionate. She's so caring. I mean, her heart is as big as her head. And I said, first of all, this dude says no, then he's doing you a huge favor. And I'm not just saying this as a father. I'm just telling you because there's a lot of really nice women out there, girls, whatever, that reach into guys, and guys are just too dumb to see how good they've got it right in front of them. So I said, if he says that now, I said, this could be like a Grease moment where he's probably showing it to his buddies because guys are stupid that way, and they're probably going, you don't want to be your girlfriend, boyfriend, blah, 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 what are you doing? And they're probably egging him on a little bit, and so he's going to try to be, he's going to be John Travolta, he's going to act like he's cool around his buddies, and he's going to probably make you look bad. And I said, there's a possibility of that happening. I said, there is a possibility, and chances are he'll probably just say maybe, because maybe leaves the door open. And maybe means, at a 9-year-old, I would think, that he is very interested in you, but he wants to take it super slow, and he's probably getting pounded by his buddies. Because at the age of 9, you ain't really dating or doing anything. But I just thought it was really, really cool for a 9-year-old. I mean, it's hard to find like an 18, 19, 20, 25, 35, 55-year-old woman to go hit on a dude and say, listen, I think you're cool. I want to hang out with you. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if you're sitting in a bar and like a really good-looking 35-year-old woman sends you a note and it says, I want to hang out with you, yes, maybe, or no? How cool would that be? Instead of having to buy 17, 18 drinks and then finding out she wants to have nothing to do with you, maybe you don't look right, maybe you're fat, maybe she knows you don't have a good job, whatever the situation is, it would be nice. Jason Williams, good morning, man. Be nice once in a while. That's why I always loved Sadie Hawkins dances, because the women had to ask the guys. So, we didn't have to work so hard to find the woman who we thought liked us, and she already let us know. Then we just had to not try to screw it up. So they have it. Something to learn. 9-year-olds are brilliant. My daughter's a killer. She's awesome. Anyway, thoughts and prayers go out to the Ukrainian people. And we got classic rock and all of our unique programming. Dee Dee, Karen Sparks, good morning to you, Dee Dee. We got a killer week of great shows. It's going to start with Dark Side of the Pooch today at noon and 8. Adapter Parish goes off tomorrow at noon and 8. By the way, we are evolving and expanding here. If you just listened to us over the last 4 months, we went from just playing classic rock to 10 different unique shows that we're running out of this radio station. It's super cool, and they're all exclusive to Tony Kurre Radio, and again, you can hear them on Spotify. But we're in the process of updating every stinking computer we have in our radio station here. So the next couple of days, Tony Kurre Live on the radio. You can still listen to the app. The music's still rolling. I'm not going to be on the next couple of days. But all of our unique programs will be running. But we're updating everything we've done, and I could not do it without our great partnerships with our great clients. The Driscoll Grays, the Vitrero Healths, Chris Creek from the club at Lakeview, the Chris Dorset State Farm teams, the Southern Precision Staffing. I could go on and on and on. Just wonderful people. When in Rome, the Woodhouse Day Spa, they do a fantastic job. Mission Minded, the Jimmy Hill Mission people. And I know I'm missing some people, so my apologies, but I love you and I thank you for being in partnership with us and being loyal to Tony Kurre Radio. We're building something super, super, super cool here. It takes a little time, but with our recomputerization, if you will, we're going to be seamless, fluid, and rocket in your ears. We're going to be everywhere here in the next couple weeks, so check us out. Download the Tony Kurre Radio app. That's Tony Kurre with a K. James Files, good morning to you. And make sure you go to Spotify and listen to some of our podcasts. I want you to listen to some of the shows. If you got a show idea, email us at tonykurreradio.net. If you got a show you're doing that maybe you want to air on Tony Kurre Radio, we have roughly 90 to 95,000 people listen every single week, so we have a nice little contingency of listeners. Love to have you on. So just a couple ideas, because this is your radio station, and I'm building it that way. So keep that in mind. Have a wonderful day. Peace. I love you, and we'll be back tomorrow morning.